A.C.M.A. This is the teacher Haris Bhatt, and you are seeing my YouTube channel Learn Accounting with Sir Haris. Today we are going to solve a question from AS Accounting 9706 AS Accounting, and it has come. The topic is company counts. AS Accounting 9706 topic is company counts, and this question has come in October November 22-21. तो अक्टूबर नवंबर 22 का क्वेश्चन है, 21 is the variant. Let's start the question. You have to prepare statement of financial position and you have to prepare income statement according to the IS1, the format given in the question. The data is given from the top, 6% debenture, expenses, and non-current asset is given, retained earnings, return inward, trade payable, trade receivable, and some adjustments are also given. October, November 22-21. So let me read the adjustments first. Inventory at 30th June was valued at 126800. This is closing inventory, subtracted from cost of sales, and it will also come in the current asset. Inventory at 30th June included damaged goods costing 3200 that could be sold for 3950 after repairing cost of 910. तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि inventory is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. Inventory is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. So NRV, beta, what is NRV? NRV is going to be, how you are going to calculate NRV? 3950, which can be sold for 3950 minus the repair cost 910. That is going to be known as NRV. NRV means net realizable value. The formula to calculate NRV is market value minus cost to sell. So market value of these goods, which cost 3200, is 3950 minus 910. 3950 के sold हो सकते हैं if we are going to go for a repair of 910. So NRV is going to be 3040. So obviously cost is 3200, NRV is 3040. We need to record it at NRV because inventory is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. So how you are going to calculate it? 126800. This particular inventory is included in this minus 3200. You will subtract 3200 because that is the damaged goods. Cost is higher than NRV, and we will add 3040. The wrong value we will subtract, correct value we will add 126640. So 126640 is going to be the value of the closing inventory. Right? Next is the delivery vehicle have an estimated value at 30th June of 62,000. It's very, very easy. Why? Because 30th June 2022, the delivery vehicle is given. It has value is 74,000. Here it is 74,000. But at the end of the year, the value has been decreased to 62,000. It means the difference is going to be the depreciation, right? So that will around be amortization भी कह सकते हैं आप इसको. That is around 12,000. 12,000 is the depreciation on delivery vehicle, which will be written in the distribution cost. Office equipment is to be depreciated by 10% using reducing balance method. So what you are going to do, office equipment is 22,300. Sorry, 54,600 minus 22,300. Uska 10% you will calculate. You will get the depreciation on office equipment to be written in the admin expenses. Admin expenses include 1,800 office rent for the 3 months ending 31st August. Right? This is an important point I will discuss later on. Distribution costs 850 were owing at 30th June. This will be added in distribution cost. 850 will be added in distribution cost. 6% debenture were issued in 2017. Right? And it has been supposed to be repaid. This is a long-term loan which we have taken in 2017 and we have to repay it in 25 and 26. So currently we are solving the question for 22. So we have to pay interest on 6% debenture, and that is going to be 6% on the amount of debenture, which is 60,000 into 6%. That is going to be 3,600. That is the finance cost. Then bad debts are 490 to be written off to admin expenses. It's an expense. We will subtract it from trade receivable, also 490. And we have to calculate provision at the rate of 4%. It might be increased, might be decreased depending upon the question. Both the bad debts and the provision is supposed to be written under the heading of admin expenses. There is no interest charge on the bank overdraft. Obviously, generally bank overdraft doesn't carry interest at all because bank overdraft is a current liability. We used to pay bank overdraft within a year. So already it is written, there is no interest. So we have to prepare the income statement. Let's do that. October, November 22, 21. So we have to go for the working also, and we will do it accordingly. So let's start it. I'm going to write the income statement. I will write here $. I will start from revenue. And from revenue, I have to subtract sales return, right? So I will go with the working first. So revenue given in the question, or sales given in the question, is here 615,300. See, it is written sales is 615,300 minus return inward, sales return 7,550. Whatever the amount will come, I will write the amount in the sales column. 615,300 minus 7,550. 607,750. The answer is 607,750. 607,750. Okay. You can write like this: revenue less return. You can write like this also: less cost of sales. Now, instead of preparing the proper set of cost of sales, I will not do that. Like, I will write opening inventory first, add purchases, then add carriage inward, less purchase return, less closing inventory. I will not do that. I will go for the working of this. There is a problem. Why? I will tell you. Let me make you see that the problem is this, that we are not having the space in the income statement to prepare proper working of cost of sales. You have to do cost of sales in the working column. This is the new trend which has been used, and you will find cost of sales, the resultant amount, the amount which you will get at the end. You will write cost of sales directly in that. So opening inventory is 105,600. I will write here. I'm going to calculate the cost of sales. For that, I'm going to write opening inventory 105,600. Let me make you see also. There will opening inventory is here 105,600 plus purchases, that is 338,200. Purchases are going to be plus purchases 338,200. I will write here. Then plus carriage inward. It is given in the question. So I will add carriage inward also. Let me see, where is the carriage inward? Here it is, carriage inwards 4,310. So I will add carriage inward in this. Then I will subtract closing inventory to get the amount of cost of sales. Closing inventory, I have already calculated 126,640, because there is a part of inventory included in the closing inventory of 126,800, which is damaged, costing 3,200. But its market value or net realizable value is 3,040. So we need to write the lesser amount. 3,200 will be subtracted, 3,040 will be added. So 126,640 is going to be the closing inventory. Now you can find the answer. That is the cost of sales, which I will subtract from here. 321,470. 321,470 is the answer. Please do calculation with proper care, otherwise our balance sheet will not be equal, because in this question we have to prepare the balance sheet also. So now, please, what is the gross profit? 286,280. 286,280 is going to be my gross profit. So gross profit is going to be 286,280, right? Now, less operating expenses. And there are two operating expenses to be written here. One is going to be the distribution cost, and other is going to be the admin cost. So less operating expenses, distribution cost, and admin cost. Let me write here. I will go for the heading first. Then I have to go for the calculation of distribution cost and admin cost, and then I will write the answers directly to find profit before profit from operations. You can write here. And then you will subtract finance cost to find profit after finance cost. Okay, now let's talk about distribution cost first. So carriage inward we have taken. Carriage inward doesn't come in distribution cost. Carriage outward is an expense for delivering the goods to the outlet. So that is going to be the distribution cost. I'm talking about carried outward. So let's see, where is the distribution cost which is written in the question? Here it is. Distribution cost is 72910. So I will write here. I'll go with the calculation now under here. That is 72910. Now, first of all, I will add the depreciation on the delivery vehicle. Delivery vehicle 74,000, but now its value has decreased to 62,000. So 12,000 is going to be the depreciation to be added in the distribution cost. I have written that in the working. Then office equipment will not come. Admin expenses also will not come. Distribution cost 850 were owing. So owing distribution cost will be added. So I will add 850 in 12,000 plus 850. So I will do that. Next, we'll see how we can do more things which supposed to come in the distribution cost. I think there is not much things available for distribution cost other than these. Okay, so let's go for the total. 72910 plus 12,000 plus 850. 85760. So I will write here the answer for the distribution cost we are having 85760. Now I will go for the working of admin cost. That is important now. So admin cost is already given in the data, and where it is here, administrative expenses 89540. So I will write here first 89540. 89540. So 89540 I will write, and then I'm going to use it. First of all, if you just see in the question that admin expenses including 1800 office rent for the 3 months ending 31st August 2022. First of all, this 1800 of admin expenses is for 3 months. So if you talk about admin expenses or rent for each month is 600. 600 becomes 3 months rent, which is a part of admin expenses or included in admin expenses. If you just go down, our financial year ends on 30th June. So it means that this 1800 stands for the next 3 months from June to August. June, July, and August. Our financial year ends on 30th June. So it means that first 600 should be a part of our rent expense and should be included in admin expenses. But July rent 600 and August rent 600 becomes 1200, that is prepaid. 1200 is the prepaid admin expense or prepaid rent, which we need to subtract from admin expenses because it should not be written in the admin expenses. Why? Because it is the rent of the next months, which does not fall in our financial year. It comes in the next financial year. So it will not come. Then depreciation on office equipment, 10% using reducing balance method. Let's calculate. 22300. Sorry, 54600 minus 22300. 54600 minus 22300. This will become 32300 after subtraction. So 32300, 10% of this is going to be 3230. So 3230 is going to be the depreciation. So I will add in admin expenses 3230. Why, sir? Because office equipment is used in the admin department, right? So 54600 minus 22300, as it is reducing balance method into 10%, will get the depreciation on office equipment to be added in admin expenses. Sir, why not we write it separately? No, it's not possible. There is a reason. Because the examiner has clearly stated that you have to prepare the income statement like in this format, according to IS1. So everything should be written in its total amount. Because that's why we have space for cost of sales working, admin and distribution cost working. We can do that easily. Now, bad debts are 490. It is also included in admin expenses. So I will add 490 because it is the weakness of our admin department that we have to face this loss of bad debts. Provision is 4% of trade receivable. The problem is this, mostly students used to do it wrong. irrecoverable debt of 490 is to be written off. Is to be. It means that bad debts is not yet subtracted from the trade receivable. Is to be written off. So we have to subtract it from trade receivable and then we have to create provision. So trade receivables are given in the question, that is 93240. Trade receivables are given in the question and that is 93240. And what I will do here, 93240 minus 490. What is the answer? Because bad debts I need to subtract 92750 into 4%. That provision 3710 is the provision which we required in this particular for the on the trade receivables to be subtracted in the statement of financial position. We need a provision of 3710. How much provision we have? 3540. We have a provision of 3540, but we need a provision of 3710. So it means that we need to increase the provision. Let's say 170. Say we need to increase the provision. Increase in provision is recorded under the heading of expenses. I will add 170 into this. In the admin expenses, that is the increase in provision. Sir, अगर decrease हो रही होती तो फिर मैं admin expenses में से इसको minus कर देता simply. Then I have to subtract it from the admin expenses rather than adding in gross profit, right? Because we are now in higher classes, that's why. So calculate it to find the total admin expenses. 89540 plus 1200 plus 3230 plus 490 plus 170. What is the amount of admin expenses in total? 94630. 94630. I'm going to write here total of admin expenses 94630. And now I'm going to go for the operating expenses in total. Calculate it. 85760 plus 94630. 180390. 180390. And then I will get the profit from operation. 8 minutes. Okay. Fine. The profit from operation. 286280 minus 180390. 105890. 105890 is the profit from operation. Now I will subtract less finance cost from this. Finance cost is going to be the interest cost actually to get profit for the year. Remember this. We can also subtract. It might be given in the question that you have to subtract tax also. Income tax is also an expense, but it is not given in the question. You will subtract finance cost to get the answer. So 6% debenture was issued in 2017. So let's calculate the value of 6% debenture, interest on debenture, 60,000 into 6%. It will become 3,600. Out of that, we have paid a finance cost of 1,800. It means that we have paid 1,800 already, and we have yet to pay 1,800 more. But remember this, expense is recorded in the period to which it relates. Either it is paid or not. You will record the finance cost with the full amount. Yes. बेटा अगर ना भी पे किया होता ना हमने कुछ भी तब भी 3,600 ही आना था एक्सपेंसेस में, और अगर सारा पे कर दिया होता हमने 3,600 तब भी एक्सपेंसेस में 3,600 ही आना था. लेकिन अगर आपने सारा पे कर दिया है तो करंट लायबिलिटी में कुछ नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, और अगर आपने कुछ भी पे नहीं किया एक्सपेंस तो पूरा ही आएगा, लेकिन वो 3,600 करंट लायबिलिटी में भी आएगा. बट आई in this part you have paid 1,800, so 1,800 in the expenses you will write 3,600, but it will also go 1,800 will also be written in the current liability section because you have paid 1,800 and the remaining 1,800 is yet to be paid, so it should be shown as accrued bank interest payable, debenture interest payable in the current liability, or in other payable you can also write here 102,290 is the profit for the year. You can also write it in other payables, or you can write it in current liability also. Whatever you feel good, you can do that. Now, I have to prepare the statement of financial position, which is also required in the question. So, I will go with 3-column financial statement. Why? Because as we are studying depreciation already, we have to write cost here first, then accumulated depreciation, and then net book value. This is the way we used to do that, especially when we have separate depreciation given and separate cost of the asset is also given. तो फिर हम इस तरीके से इसको सॉल्व करते हैं. Now let's do the next part. So non-current assets, if we just see, we have two non-current assets. One is going to be the motor vehicle, and the value of motor vehicle is already given. That was 74,000, but I will write direct 62,000. Because it is given already. Then comes the office equipment. I will write here. So office equipment, we will write cost also. We will write the total depreciation also and net book value. It was not motor vehicle, it was delivery vehicle. So you must write delivery vehicle. But because I have gone for it, doesn't matter. Office equipment cost is 54,600 and depreciation is 22,300. So I will write here 54,600 and the depreciation will come. Total depreciation I have to write means 22,300 previous year depreciation plus current year depreciation of 3,230. So I have to subtract total depreciation from the cost of the asset. 25530. Why? Because this is going to be known as cost. This is going to be known as accumulated depreciation. It is a total depreciation. And last part is going to be known as net book value. So what is the answer? 29070. 29070. Matlab 54,600 minus 25530. You will get the net book value of office equipment 29070. Now you'll get the total of motor vehicle and office equipment is 91070. 91070. So we are done with this part. Now I'm going to write the current asset section. You can write here also if you want to write. If previous year depreciation is given in the question,
sir,
it will be subtracted from non-current asset. Yes.
सर जी ये मोटर व्हीकल की बस नेटबुक वैल्यू दी हुई है, कॉस्ट नहीं दी हुई है एक्यूमुलेटेड डेप्रिसिएशन.
आप थोड़ा लेट आए हो ना. Delivery vehicle is given 4,000, cost is not there. This is already net book value and now the value has gone down to 62,000. So it means that it has been depreciated by 12,000. This is
okay sir.
Yes.
ठीक.
Okay. Next, current assets. First of all, we need to write the closing inventory, but we need to write the correct value of closing inventory, which is not the same which we were using actually, right? Because there was some amount which needs to be written, adjusted, the damage inventory. So the correct value is of the inventory is going to be, we have to do that, I think. No, it is written here, 126640. Right? Now I'm going to write the trade receivable. So trade receivables given in the question, let me see, 93240. If you want to write, you can, otherwise you don't need to write also. 93240 minus the bad debts, which has to be subtracted from the trade receivable, 490, and minus the provision, total provision 3710. We'll subtract total provision, not the provision increase. Increase in provision is written under the heading of expenses, and decrease in provision is subtracted from expenses or added in gross profit. But in the statement of financial position, we subtract total provision from the trade receivables in the statement of financial position under current assets. That is minus 3710. 89040. 89040. Next question is this, sir. Why you have subtracted 490 from trade receivable? Yes, because these are the bad debts which are not written off yet, which is to be written off. So that will come in the expenses also, and that will also be shown. They also be subtracted from the trade receivable in the current asset. Even we have calculated provision after subtracting trade receivables. This is how we used to do this. Okay. The next current asset which we should write is going to be the prepaid admin expenses. Right? They are going to be 1,200 and they were prepaid admin expenses. So we have to write those also. So let me write here. prepaid admin expenses. You can write other receivable also in this way. And the amount of prepaid admin expenses is 1200. That's it. There is no other current asset. We'll go for the total and then we'll go for the total assets. Cash at bank, cash in hand is not given. Why? Because we have a bank overdraft. So we have a long list of liabilities. That's why. That is 216,880. And the total assets 307,950. So these are the total assets. One part of the balance sheet is completed. Now we'll go for the next part. That is, we have to prepare equity and liability section. Remember this, that equity and liability section is dependent upon the statement of changes in equity. But we haven't prepared statement of changes in equity, not even in the last question, and also not here. Why? Because it is not necessary. Because everything is given in the question, which we don't need to prepare statement of changes in equity. The equity section includes, first of all, ordinary share capital. Ordinary share capital is given here. Share capital, ordinary share, $1 each, 80,000. Remember this, it is not necessary that it is always given $1. It can be 0.5, $0.5. It can be $2. So, but here it is 80,000. So I will write it with the full amount of 80,000. Then I will write share premium, which is not given in the question. So I will not write share premium. General reserve is also not given. Where it is? No. So now I'm going to write the retained earnings. Retained earnings is given, that is 16,920. So let's see how I will go for the calculation of retained earnings. 16,920, that is the retained earning at the start, profit from the previous year, plus profit for the current year, 102,290, minus the dividend we are paying. We have to subtract the dividend from this because dividend is the profit on shares. The dividend paid is basically 6,400. So we need to subtract the dividend from the profit for the year, which is supposed to be paid. What is the amount? 112810, right? No, ये नहीं आ रहा. Check करें फिर से. What is going to be the answer? This is not the right answer. Okay. 92230. चलो खैर है. ये अमाउंट गलत कर दिया आपने. पहले बताना था ना. ये 92230 थी. अच्छा चलो आगे चले, बाद में करते हैं. छोड़ें इसको. जी